Here is Danny, and today DICE did a Discord question and ask thing where people asked them questions and DICE gave them answers in a bit of a PR approved way. This video has been made with the use of 11 Labs AI to narrate the questions, because me asking the questions and then answering them would make it super messy to listen to. Trust me, I tried. Starting off.
Do you have an approximate time for when the reworks of Blackwell Fields and New Sobek City will release?
Our plan is to test these changes through Battlefield Labs later this year, with a goal to have the maps in Season 5.
So when will jet loadouts actually land on the live version of the game?
Jet customization is an important feature for us and something we're working to support in future seasons. We will have more details later. That is something that will come back a lot.
Being able to throw a grenade back, is it something you plan to bring back to the game?
We've been seeing a lot of feedback around the desire to see the grenade throwback feature come back. We are very interested in trying out this feature again on Battlefield Labs, as we'd like to evaluate how it impacts the core, loop and effectiveness of grenades in general. We don't want to promise it will come back, but we are looking into it. Fun fact, DICE was playing around in Battlefield 1 to get a mechanic like that into the game, where you could hit back grenades with your shovel.
Boats. Can you share when we can expect to get our hands on some boat action?
Naval warfare is arriving in Season 4. So be sure to check out the new season when it launches if you are a fan of boats.
Casual Breakthrough has been super fun. Are there any plans to add casual conquest or casual escalation modes as well?
We always monitor player engagement with these modes, and we see that Casual Breakthrough is appreciated by players. We are adding Casual BR in Season 3, Phase 3, to provide an entry point that is less sweaty for our players in RedSec.
Where is proximity chat?
Yes, we have the first iteration of proximity chat coming during Season 4.
Is proximity chat only going to be for RedSec, or also be in multiplayer that is conquest, escalation, etc.?
Proximity chat for RedSec and multiplayer will arrive late in Season 4 as the first iteration before we evolve it with the players. There will be mode-specific rules that define if enemies can or cannot hear you.
Will we ever get an improved thermal 3.0 scope? It's too thick and blocks too much vision. And will we get a 4.0 thermal scope?
At the moment we are not planning changes to thermal scopes. The housing is intentionally a bit bulkier. That's the part of the trade-off for the visibility advantage thermals provide. As for a 4x zoom version, there's nothing to announce right now, but we are always monitoring feedback and gameplay data around optic balance.
Will we get a Siege of Cairo and Cairo Bazaar operation this year? Just like Operation Augur with Contaminated and Hagental base.
We are looking at bringing in more operations in future seasons, as well as bringing back Operation Augur. We will communicate later on the details of which map and improvements we will make to the mode.
Are there plans or conversations to bring big map-changing levolutions back in future map editions?
We are looking at massive destruction of set pieces in some of the Season 5 maps. Those set piece destructions will have an impact on some points of interest on those maps.
A major focus of the 2026 roadmap has been quality of life improvements and priority features such as the server browser and spectator mode. With the introduction of console-only crossplay as a feature of RedSec Ranked, which has been well received by the community, is the team considering bringing console-only crossplay as an optional setting to the core multiplayer experience, given how frequently it has been requested by console players since BF 2042, and how common it has become in other FPS titles?
We have discussed a console-only option, but there are drawbacks to having this. Mainly it adds another matchmaking pool for our players. We do always try to prioritize the matchmake console players with other console players if possible, but will then also allow PC players to join to fill up a server to avoid long matchmaking time.
Which countries belong to the coalition that sent Pax Armata to war? During campaign, some countries are confirmed, for example, 13 specific countries of NATO that left the alliance in favour of Pax Armata.
You can see a lot of those countries in the intro cinematic of the single player, like France, Spain and Italy. Our plan for future seasons is that the countries behind Pax Armada will take a bigger role, but I won't say more for now.
Are any more aim penalties coming for those who just constantly spam jump?
We don't have any new aim penalties planned right now. That said, movement and gun balance are always under review since they're core to the gameplay loop, and we're going to be speaking about this extensively in the coming weeks. If we see it become a real issue in their data, we'll take a look.
Will we ever see a mark all as seen button?
We are creating a clear all marker button across several menus in Season 3 Phase 3. We have also done some work targeting a future season to make the logic changes across the game to make appearance of these less oppressive overall.
What are the expectations out of the gunplay once limb multipliers makes it into the game, alongside the rest of what has been mentioned?
We are looking to reward precision more to achieve the fastest time to kill with automatic weapons in particular. What that means in practice is that you will still be able to kill a player in close quarter relatively fast. But for that you will need to be a lot more intentional with how you aim at a soldier. Aiming for the head or chest will be key if you want to kill someone quickly, and this will be felt in the duels in general. And also means that you are more likely to survive an engagement. Limb multipliers is not the only thing we are looking at though. We will be talking about gunplay very in depth later in Season 3, ahead of the changes going live, so stay tuned!
Will proximity chat at least be tested in the next season, and will it work only between teammates or also between enemies?
Proximity chat for both RedSec and multiplayer will arrive in Season 4 late. Proximity chat for RedSec and multiplayer will arrive late in Season 4 as the first iteration before we evolve it to the players. There will be mode-specific rules. I have seen this one before.
Hello. With new mortar changes and recon drones, it's hard to deal with mortars outside of the map. It would be nice to have remove not able to be outside map with drone, or change MPAPS to be better against mortar.
There are a number of mortar balance iterations targeted in Season 3, and the next of these adjustments will be coming with the next update. These changes are intended to support a fire and move gameplay, where players will be punished if they sit on a mortar for a long time, and fire. I hope your PC will blow up, or console, of course. These changes include reducing the health and blocking MPAPS from being placed nearby. We continue to monitor the balance of the sketchet to ensure it supports the role, but doesn't feel oppressive.
Hello. How will the upcoming server browser coexist with the matchmaker? Can we expect a traditional server browser experience? And will the matchmaker funnel players into hosted servers to help fill them out?
We have seen a lot of comments and feedback from players that wanted us to take a look at some of the things that make Battlefield great. You've seen that through a lot of our updates recently, and the roadmap is also a really large acknowledgement of us delivering what you want the most. Cookies. We want to give you the ability to decide how you form your communities. The server browser is a part of that, and we look forward to its return during Season 5. And sooner within Battlefield Labs 2. Not that many people, including me, have access to it, but baba booey.
From a gunplay perspective, is there any deep insight that can be given on the direction of where gunplay is going? Specifically in regards to recoil mechanics, such as first shot recoil multis, base/max spread values, and random recoil variation, etc. I know this has been a hot topic with the community, and that you guys have spoken on plans to be iterating on gunplay. And I was hoping there was a more sweeping plan you could share with your vision of where you want gunplay to be and how it will change.
This is something we are going to talk about quite openly and in depth soon, so I will not spoil the fun in this Q&A today. Also, it will be a very long answer. We have been reviewing the state of the gunplay in the recent months, and we are cooking some changes on Battlefield Labs that will release soon in Season 3 Phase 3. And we will give you plenty of details before this goes live.
When is the RedSec Elite Series LOL?
We are actively building the feature sets to make sure that when we launch Elite Series, we do it at the level of quality that meets our player expectations. The Elite series is coming before the end of this year.
What is the reason that even 7 months after launch, there is still no air radar or jet loadout in the game? Why are two such important elements missing? And why is there absolutely no communication about this?
Air Radar is targeted for an upcoming update in Season 3. And we will share more information about jet customization for future releases soon, TM.
Question, will there be more maps for RedSec's Gauntlet? Because I do genuinely enjoy it.
We are currently not planning on moving Gauntlet from Fort Linden, but it is certainly something we can consider in the future.
Can you dive deeper into Platoons, or share more insight about the feature coming this year? How do you plan to keep players engaged and between major content updates? Looking ahead 1 year after launch, what do you hope the Battlefield community is saying about BF6?
Platoons is a massive feature that we will be delivering progressively across several seasons. On our first release of Platoons during Season 5, we will focus on the foundation of forming a social group, where players can easily play together and represent the social group to the outside world. Platoon members can easily play together and get XP bonuses by doing so.
Is there any plans to remove mortars from the headquarters?
There are a number of mortar balance iterations targeted in Season 3, and the next set of these adjustments will be coming in the next phase of the season. The changes are intended to support a fire and move gameplay where players will be punished if they sit on a mortar for too long time and fire. These changes include reducing the health and blocking MPAPs, damn Danny, from being placed nearby. We continue to monitor the balance of the schedule to ensure... I feel like I've said this before. Are they just copying the freaking answers all the time?
Why can't you honk the horn while using a controller?
It is a known issue that you can't honk your horn on controller. We are working on resolving it. This is the most vital thing in the world.
Why are you so slow with fixing bugs and realizing updates? Why don't you fix bugs that are so annoying? We live in 2026 and still no rejoin button for RedSec.
We are listening, observing how players engage with the game and working to constantly improve the experience. Our priority is to always ensure players have access to the best possible version of Battlefield 6, which apparently includes honking on controller. We do want to improve on this to reduce our time to the players. What the fuck is that for a sentence, DICE? And this is something we are actively working on, both from a toolset perspective and from a turnaround time to address the issues. Yippee!
Will you make more realistic skins and stay true to the accuracy of military fatigues?
Our goal with character skins is to keep a balance between realistic military skins and skins that take more liberty with milsim realism like the light out skins. We will continue following the strategy in the future and we are committed to that. I'm still waiting for Mate Isaki from Battlefield 5. DICE please.
Golmud has generally been very well received and became a fast favourite for me. Are there any takeaways from its positive reception or criticisms that you are considering applying in future updates or to maps past and future?
With remakes, Golmud proved that retaining the core map fantasy while adapting it for modern gameplay is the right strategy, and we will continue to be using Battlefield Labs to validate that with you. In terms of design philosophy, the improvements we made to Golmud's lines of sights, cover density and airspace are now our baseline. We are actively applying those lessons to our future maps and the coming reworks that are releasing during Season 5.
Question regarding Little Bird balance. Are there any plans to increase the Little Bird's skill ceiling without making it significantly weaker overall? From my experience, the Little Bird is already one of the easiest air vehicles to punish. It has low health and is vulnerable to small arms fire, LMGs, HMGs, RPGs, M136, TOWs, lock-ons and coordinated infantry fire, so I don't think survivability is the main issue. What feels more important is weapon design and skill expression. Right now, the .50 caliber is by far the strongest choice for helicopter versus helicopter combat, while the 7.62 struggles outside of very close range. At the same time, Both weapons have a lot of spread, and pilot sniping often decides fights almost instantly. Has the team considered moving toward a single minigun option that places more emphasis on precision, tracking, and consistent aim rather than spread? Something with a higher skill ceiling that rewards accuracy and flying skill could make Little Bird duels much more engaging. I was also wondering if there's any consideration for adding an AGM-style missile option in the future. It could provide more meaningful loadout variety, serve as an alternative to light rockets, and give the Little Bird additional counterplay against vehicles and stationary AA emplacements without necessarily making it stronger overall. I'd love to see the Little Bird become more skill-based through weapon design and mechanical depth rather than through direct buffs or nerfs.
Regarding the Little Bird's skill ceiling. Thank you for such a detailed question and proposed solutions. Keeping vehicles accessible for players of all skill levels while providing enough of a skill ceiling for more advanced users is a constant balance that we are trying to strike. From a gameplay standpoint, overall air vehicle skill expression is currently being discussed internally, and something we'll continue to test in Battlefield Labs, but right now there are no current plans we can just share about yet.
Is there any plans to adjust attachment costs to allow for more build variety?
Not at this point, but we are looking at general gameplay balance, and the attachment usage is part of this. So it is definitely something that could be adjusted in the future.
Hello! Regarding the lore, will Dagger 1 to 3's story or narrative will develop throughout the seasons?
Yes, Dagger 1-3 will be back in future seasons after Season 3.
Are there plans for more HUD customizations, like HUD scaling?
We don't have any short-term plans to add more HUD customization, but we are always all ears for any quality of life additions that could be very welcome. HUD scaling for more elements of the HUD would be fantastic additions, and I know it has been requested before.
Any plans for improved visibility/illumination on scopes and reticles? Or an option to customize them to our liking? Many sites are very hard to see with. Also, many maps, like especially Firestorm, would be greatly improved with map boundaries being extended/altered.
On reticle visibility, yes, that is something we are actively looking into. We know some sites can be hard to read in certain lighting conditions, and we are exploring improvements there. We will be adding some experiments into Battlefield Labs, ahead of them arriving into the main game.
For drag and revive, there is still the issue of accidentally performing a kit swap. Previous BF had a dedicated key for kit swapping, or an option for tap/hold to separate the action. Is there a solution being worked on for the issue?
This is something I have seen a lot myself, and it is definitely frustrating when it happens. Without promising when, this is definitely something on a radar to improve in the near future. A dedicated key binding is a good idea, but it is difficult to make it work on a controller, unfortunately, because they have a lot less buttons.
I really enjoyed Nightfall. Are we ever going to get that back?
We don't have any current plans to bring back Nightfall, but we can always consider it if players yearn for the bunkers.
What is the reason for alternating between solo and duo modes? RedSec. Instead of simply adding solo mode as an additional option.
We're alternating between solo and duo modes to help protect matchmaking health and overall experience quality. We will continue to monitor the matchmaking health in live and make adjustments as we get more data. AKA dead game, I guess.
Any improvement expected for the browser/portal, like a way to favorite a server or experience so it show up by default when you click browser, a bit like BF4 was better algorithm for server that in the recommended page? I ask that because I host a server with a clan that is maybe one that the most consistent in the game right now. Is there a reason why we experience a lot of populated server crash between midnight and 2 a.m. New York time zone?
We are planning to add a favorite button following the implementation of our server browser. We will have more to share on that at a later date. At the moment, servers on the recommended page are sorted based on ping and player count. We'd love to hear your thoughts on how you prefer recommendations to be ranked. If you have feedback or suggestions, please share them in the portal channel. We will investigate the server crashes you mentioned. Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
How do you see the narrative and lore developing in the short and possibly long term? Are there any delivery methods, like a codex, more dedicated web lore, that you could shine some light on?
Our world context is a huge part of our seasonal direction, and we are always looking for new ways to deliver lore, like the recent in-game mailboxes messages in Season 3. Moving forward, we are embedding more environmental storytelling into the maps themselves. We are also looking at leveraging major features like operations to give the community a deeper narrative context as the war evolves.
Eigler hitting through flares, bug or exploit, confirm or deny.
We are aware of an issue between the flares and all AA missiles. We are looking into it.
Are you guys ever going to fix the glare in RedSec?
This is obviously a huge issue we attempted to fix in the last patch, but it did not solve the problem. We have additional fixes coming in the next release and will continue to monitor until we completely resolve the issue.
Following the recent transport vehicle and helicopter balance changes in RedSec, many players feel their combat effectiveness has been reduced too much. Is the team satisfied with their current performance, or are you still monitoring player feedback and gameplay data for potential future adjustments?
The team is always monitoring player feedback and gameplay data for potential future adjustments, especially with the recent vehicle changes made to RedSec. We are currently discussing internally and looking at the data how these specific changes landed on live. Thank you for your feedback.
Is there any possibility of 32 versus 32 breakthrough coming back? I know you can in Portal servers, but I want to play it officially.
At the moment, we see the current breakthrough player count result in a better flow balance across matches versus 32 versus 32 player counts. We don't have any plans right now to bring back 32 versus 32 breakthrough. However, we are aware that for some players this is the preferred way of playing breakthrough. We keep reviewing and talking about the community feedback as we continue to expand on Battlefield 6.
Will there be a phantom program like in previous Battlefield games?
Stay tuned, ice emoji, skull emoji.
What was the reasoning behind making snipers the easiest to use in any Battlefield game? Make some maps completely unplayable.
We are actively working on gunplay changes that arrive in Season 3 Phase 3, and we are going to talk about those changes in more depth very soon as part of that. We are reviewing the effectiveness of sniper rifle in all our experiences and with all skill levels. You can definitely expect some adjustments to sniper rifles, particularly with projectile ballistics.
Thoughts on removing the rockets from the little bird as a way of nerfing it, while still preserving its identity as a highly mobile scout helicopter?
Vehicle balance, like most of the core gameplay, is something that we are currently actively reviewing. We are exploring multiple factors when it comes to air balance and current anti-air strength. Thank you for your feedback.
Will there be some optimization of matchmaking? I feel like the matchmakings are sometimes insanely unbalanced. A lot of game that I played are in a way that there is one team full of quite a good players, or maybe average ones, and other team is full of players who seems like they are playing for the first time. Maybe some kind of mechanism that can auto-balance a team, or maybe some tweaks that could make more skilled players play against skilled players. Even though I understand that it might be a bit hard to pull something like this in a game like Battlefield 6. But as I said, some games feel insanely unbalanced where people have like zero clue of what to do in the game.
The team is looking into improving the matchmaking balance in both BR and multiplayer. We are constantly looking at auto-balancing teams with the goal of getting matches to be fair without being heavy-handed.
Is there any chance in RedSec or ranked can plating up be quicker? Also a better selection of our weapons when the weapons drop comes in, and also a better RP system were small. RP can be obtained doing missions and shared when a team member kills the opposition. It's terrible being eliminated without RP, even though some Team M8S get a kill, and they only gain RP.
We are looking into scoring changes and gameplay tuning in ranked. We are careful with introducing scoring changes during the season, but sharing RP between teammates and improving scoring is a priority for us.
I can't load in a ranked game with my buddies who don't play as much because of the division conflict, but then you'll get joined up with a rookie or some crap, then be in the same game as class. Make it make sense.
We understand the issue and we can see how that can be frustrating. Labs Live is a way for us to learn about the hard problems that come from player usage. And that causes growing pains that we have identified. That means finding out the limits of our tech, but also about how players enjoy mode. Class feeds are amazing, and also setting a standard that will be taken into account in future balancing passes. BR ranked greatly influences the way players play, and we are seeing shocking and exciting behaviors that challenge our current design. But that we have to see as an opportunity to have something special. What I mean, no idea.
Are you guys considering switching ranked mode into trios? Squads is too chaotic, disorganized, and just not fun for solo players.
Our initial approach to ranked BR is a focus on squads, since we feel like it is the mode that better captures the battlefield experience, while being a true BR experience. Having said that, ranked is still in Labs Live and we are exploring and evaluating changes down the line.
Are there any plans to add pointing when you ping a location in a later update?
There are no plans to add animations to the ping system, but we will continue to look at improvements around this type of functionality. So you cannot point at all the things that the battlefield brings.
I'm part of a growing group of semi-competitive Gauntlet players, and we're all wondering, what's the possibility of getting a ranked Gauntlet mode in the future?
I am glad you find Gauntlet competitive and fun. We are looking into options to help support the Gauntlet community to be competitive. But at the moment our focus is on BR ranked. We want to make sure that our BR ranked experience is as good as it can be.
It's love to see how the community's skill ceiling continuously reaches new heights every single day. However, looking at recent patches, we've noticed a heavy shift toward just random-based weapon bloom and random recoils. Could you share the ideal behind introducing randomness into a competitive community? We'd love to understand the future direction of this gunplay.
As part of the gunplay improvements we are working on that will arrive later in Season 3, we have been taking a good look at how recoil is tuned. Recoil variation will receive adjustments in a way that will make handling more predictable, and more important on shooting technique, for example burst firing an automatic weapon to effectively hit targets at range. Those changes will have some meaningful impact on the gunplay mastery, and I think you will like where we are headed. We will be sharing more about everything gunplay in the near future in a deep dive on the topic, so stay tuned.
Are you guys going to make leaderboards about the general multiplayer? To see who is the best with each class, and also to see who has the most kills and scores? I don't play BR, that's why I ask. Thanks.
Leaderboards are scheduled to launch during Season 5 for multiplayer, giving players more ways to track their performance against the top players across Battlefield 6. We are building on a leaderboards feature that launched alongside Ranked Battle Royale in Season 3, which gave players a way to measure their progress and compare the competitive standings.
I know there's a rework of Sobek and Blackwell Fields in the works. Will the other older maps also get some love too? Not major reworks per se, but maybe some adjustments or love and attention to detail. Would be nice to keep some freshness as newer maps come out and more maps are added.
We are actively looking at making small adjustments to the existing maps. Our main focus thus far has been around combat boundaries, particularly for aircraft, to ensure a fairer balance across the maps and modes. This remains an ongoing process, and we are always reviewing ways to improve gameplay on maps with future map updates.
Can we see something done to reduce the constant spotting? The community largely agrees that BFV spotting was the best system where 3D spotting was limited to class perks and gadgets. And other than that, we just had normal pings and firing didn't appear on the minimap. It made for a much better experience overall. In 2042, this was designed until you randomly decided to backtrack and go back to Q-spam 3D spotting, which was a baffling decision. And this continues into BF6, which provides a poor experience overall. It was bad enough in BF4 and 1, but the guns were also much less accurate in those games, which slightly alleviated things. I know the recent balance patch addressed recoil and added more to various weapons, but I'd like to see the core issue of excessive 3D spotting addressed.
We don't have any immediate changes planned to repeat the spotting, but with the soldier visibility changes that are planned for Season 3 Phase 2, we will of course be monitoring the state of spotting with those improvements in place, alongside monitoring community feedback. This is not said by DICE. Also, fuck off, one of the reasons Battlefield 5 was so fucking shit was the lack of spotting and the piss poor trash visibility. Go play hardcore or something.
Hello, thank you for this discussion today. My question is about RedSec. With the announcement of casual redeck, what is the bot to live player mix? Also, is it for quads only?
The current plan for casual BR is to have about 1/3 players and 2/3 bots, and only in quads. This is all subject to change based on community feedback and live data, of course.
Do you plan to add new features never seen before in the franchise to elevate the gameplay, like for example the drag revive?
And as last, we are always looking at opportunities to elevate our gameplay to find new innovations in Battlefield. If you like Drag and Revive, we expect you to be pleasantly surprised with the launch of naval combat in Season 4. And finally, that was it. Jesus, lots of words, not much chat. TLDR, lots of things coming in Season 5, like a server browser and Platoon. And bababooey. But hey, that is all I got for now. Subscribe for more. This was Danny, and I see you on the battlefield.